Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Sustainable Green Team is working in various industries on sustainable solutions. And with me is the CEO, Tony Raynor, and Brian Rivera, an administrative assistant, to talk more about the company. So, Tony, let's just start. What is Sustainable Green Team, and what are the components of it?
All right, yeah, the Sustainable Green Team is a holding company that has several different wholly owned subsidiaries that work together through vertical integration, taking tree waste and manufacturing products. One of its subsidiaries is a 35-year pioneer in the industry. They were the first ones in the market 35 years ago that innovated colored mulch and the technology to take natural iron oxide pigments and be able to make them adhere to fiber. And so we actually engineered the equipment and had R&D development and went through that. And so over a 35-year period of time, ending up with a 250 employee team, strong management, and being an innovator in that space, it's really positioned it to continue to look for newer technologies to utilize the different mechanisms that we have in place to have a more sustainable future, to be able to use products in a different way than just your traditional colored mulches.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're in a lot of different industries too, right? A lot of different solutions for things. Yeah.
Yeah. So with us being involved in different industries, I mean, we actually have, when I talk about vertical integration, where we're into arboricultural, handling municipality, tree removal, and storm disaster recovery. And, around the world, we're faced with so many different issues. If you take a look right now in California, we're looking at a 1,200-year mega drought, a drought like we've never seen before. I mean, the world has famines that are going on, and so we've partnered up and looked for new technologies. We partnered up with Vrm Biologic, and they have a revolutionary process that we partnered with, so we're able to take our wood fiber and that same pioneered engineering development that we had with making colored mulch to adhere this catalyst to be able to manufacture water within organics. And so now with our distribution and the millions of cubic yards that we collect through storm recovery and our different channels that we have for that, it allows us to be in a position to be able to actually make a difference around the world with that.
And so you explained a little bit your plans and strategy. I mean, it sounds like you're looking for different companies to partner with and kind of help nurture, and they all have this common goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I learned a long time ago. When you're a leader and you're leading something, you're not looking for followers. You're looking to make more leaders and to build. And so with us, we look for these partnerships, and there's different people that are into composting or organic waste, and so we're able to teach them a different way of processing that is less carbon footprint and making something that has more of a purpose. And so it's exciting to be a part of that. And I take a look at this. It doesn't matter whether you're far left or you're far right. Everybody deserves to eat. And we have this abundance here in America of organics that we can restore America's land, hundreds of millions of acres of land that need healthy soil. That's right. And so that's why we are so excited about partnering together, is to be able to, we can't do this ourselves. This is going to take a very big group of individuals, and that we want to pull together and help lead an industry and change the way we've been doing, because sustainability is about changing for our future. The future generation, if we do not make some changes, we've got problems. And so that's what the Sustainable Green Team was founded on solutions and taking waste that would normally be thrown away maybe in a landfill, and capturing that and putting it back into the land where it's needed.
Okay, well, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming in and explaining more. And I know we're going to be seeing more of you and hearing more from the company. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Tonix Pharmaceuticals is a New Jersey-based pharmaceutical company listed here at the NASDAQ, and with me is the CEO, Seth Lederman, to talk about you really working on a variety of things. And today we're going to talk about depressive treatments. And you've just gotten IND clearance for TNX601 as a potential treatment for major depressive disorders. So tell me about that.
Thank you, Jane, for having me on the show. And yes, we just got an IND clearance from the FDA for the drug that we call TNX601, and that is a new treatment for depression. It's a new chemical entity in the United States, and we're developing it as a first-line treatment for depression.
Okay, is that a pill? Or how does it work?
It is a pill, and it's taken once a day, and this is a big advantage, once a day dosing. It's both convenient and also once a day dosing for mental health conditions has been shown to improve adherence. And adherence means that if people take the drug, it will work. If people don't take the drug, it won't work as well.
Okay, and is this the extended release tablet as well? Okay.
Yes, this is an extended release tablet. Now, the product that we're developing is based on an active ingredient that's been available in Europe to treat depression, Europe, Asia, Latin America, for more than 30 years. But there's never been this active ingredient in the United States in any approved product. So what we've done is not only bring this exciting drug into the US, but we've changed it from a 3 times a day drug into a once a day drug. So we think together this will be an important new option for people in the United States suffering from depression.
Yeah, why never did it come to the US?
Well, there has been interest in this drug. The active ingredient is called tianeptine. And in fact, a number of years ago, about 15 years ago, Johnson & Johnson bought a company called Transform in order to develop this product for the US market. Also thinking about a once a day technology. But for whatever reason, after Johnson & Johnson owned the product, we don't know why they didn't continue developing it. But this drug has really fascinated neuroscientists and psychiatrists because the mechanism is so unique and so different from what's available in the United States right now to treat depression.
Well, now this sounds like that could potentially be really helpful to a lot of people. How big of a problem is depression?
Well, depression is a very big problem. There are about 21 million people in the United States every year who experience an episode of major depressive disorder. And it's not adequately treated yet, although we're certainly in a better shape than we were in the 1950s or the 1960s. There are still people suffering with depression, and the problem does not appear to be going away. So I think we need new tools, and we're excited that with this IND clearance, we expect to be in a phase 2 trial, a potential pivotal phase 2 trial in the beginning of next year, in next quarter.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's sad because, depression is, it's just so debilitating in so many other ways with work and family and everything else. So a treatment for that would certainly be helpful.
And is a high risk for suicide.
So, okay, so Tonix has a long history of working with central nervous system types of treatments. What kind of milestones are you looking for? What other things are you working on in that area?
Well, Tonix is mostly focused on central nervous system disorders. And this is part of a broad pipeline that we have. And I think that's one of the distinctive things about Tonix, that we have a broad pipeline of drugs in development. Our lead product in development is a new treatment for fibromyalgia. That is already in phase 3 development. We have one positive phase 3. We're enrolling in another phase 3 trial, and we expect interim analysis in the first half of next year. We also are developing the same drug for long COVID. Now, we believe about 2/3 of long COVID patients have symptoms that look a lot like chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, and in particular, multi-site pain. So our trial, which is currently enrolling, a phase 2 trial enrolling, is studying multi-site pain. That means pain in more than one place in the body in long COVID.
Okay.
So those are our most advanced programs. We do have a migraine program that's starting to enroll this quarter, and the depression drug that we're speaking about, TNX601 ER, will be in a phase 2 study in the first quarter of 2023.
Okay, well, looking forward to hearing how all of those are doing in their clinical trials, and I know you're working hard to help a lot of people, so I look forward to an update on that from you.
Thank you very much. Stay
Thanks,
tuned.
Yep, thank you.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint, and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brink's vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold. It's no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Glint Pay makes gold everyday money. And with me to explain exactly how that works is Jason Cozens, the CEO of Glint Pay. Great to see you again. So explain Glint Pay. How does it work?
Sure. So yeah, we've enabled gold as everyday money with the Glint app and MasterCard. So with the app, you can register. It only takes a few minutes to register. It's free to download the app and register. And once you've been approved as a Glint client, you can top up your account with US dollars and you can buy gold for as little as 1 cent's worth or millions of dollars, depending on how much you have. You can save that gold, obviously, if you wish. But you can also spend it with the Glint MasterCard. You can also, of course, sell it anytime you want back into US dollars. But Should I just explain how the spending works?
Absolutely, because it's fascinating how it works. So yeah.
Well, the first thing is you're buying real allocated gold, real physical bars that are in the vault. In fact, the vault is run by a company called Brinks in Switzerland, in Zurich, under the airport there. Very secure location. They're one of the biggest vaulting operators in the world, and they insure it with Lloyd's of London as well. So it's real gold. It's no one else's liability. And with your card, when you swipe it, in fact, on the way over here on the subway, once it's swiped, the request comes from the merchant through MasterCard, comes to Glint. We see how much gold you've got. We then look at what the price of gold is in that moment, and we sell just enough of your gold to cover the currency of to cover the transaction in the currency of the merchant.
And I can vouch that you used it to pay for your subway ride here, because I brought you down here, so it's amazing. And your plane tickets and restaurants, and
we've made it seamless, and in order to protect yourself from the destructive effects of inflation and the risk that we're seeing in the world, we're giving everybody the opportunity to have their own personal gold standard.
So let's talk about that. So we're going through inflation, and you're from the UK, also seeing inflation there. I think even maybe more than us. Typically, gold is a strong performer. People flock to gold with geopolitical and inflationary issues. But gold, at least in terms of US dollars, hasn't performed well. But explain the macro.
So this is the situation. As you said, we've had stock market crashes, we've had cryptocurrency crashes, we've got this raging inflation. And of course, whether it's 7 or 8 or 9, 10%, it's a lot. And in fact, I set Glint up when it was like 2 or 3% a year, and that's insidious, kind of eating away of your money. But now it's off the charts. It's expected to increase in many parts of the world. We've also got a war, which is first time since World War II. We've got a war in Europe going on. All of this huge amount of uncertainty, and of course, people go to two safe havens, or they've gone to two safe havens in this situation, all of which have had, this has all come to a head in the last 6 months. They've gone to the US dollar and they've gone to gold. And so around the world, the gold prices, gold's gone up in lots of currencies, the pound, the euro, the yen. And, but of course, because people have gone to the US dollar and gold, then the US dollar's retained its strength. And so in US dollar terms, the gold price has gone up and down over the last year, generally sideways, a bit down at the moment. But I think the reason why we're getting so much interest from our clients in the USA is that they understand the fundamentals. They understand that actually you can't have a situation where the government has $31 trillion of debt. You can't have a situation where the government prints, out of all US dollars in existence, 20% were printed in 1 year during the pandemic. You can't have wars in Europe and not be a systemic major problem. And so economically, I think people expect the dollar strength to weaken, but at the moment it's held there really probably because of the war in Ukraine and the fact that the world looks to the US for the strength to be able to balance the act with Russia.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for coming back. Great to see you again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brinks vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold, with no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Auto Parts for Less is an online marketplace for auto parts, exactly what it's advertised to be. So with me, the founder and CEO, Christopher Davenport, to explain the company. And it's interesting, you call yourself a marketplace. That's a little different than e-commerce, right? So explain the difference.
Yeah, it's a little confusing when you, because the world in the world today of online sales, which is exploding. So you have single seller sites, traditional companies trying to sell their goods. A marketplace is two separate participants. You have the supply side, which are sellers, and the demand side, which are buyers.
Okay.
And that's a very different story, and it has powerful consequences and growth models and acceptance. Marketplaces benefit from what's called network effects, and this is really unique to digital marketplaces, where as more people join, it becomes more and more valuable. So more sellers, it's valuable to the buyers. More buyers are valuable to the sellers.
Right. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and you achieve this momentum, a spin-wheel effect, and at some point it just kind of goes exponential. So they're very exciting models.
So you're bringing together buyers and sellers of auto parts, basically.
That's right.
Exactly what you're doing.
That's
okay.
exactly right. So we're the technology.
Okay, got it.
We coded the entire platform, so front end, back end. And so we don't sell, even though we're like, come to Auto Parts for Less and find whatever you're looking for. We don't do that. The sellers on the platform sell, and of course the buyers buy.
Okay. And then where did you come up with the idea? How did you come up with the idea for this?
So we were a single seller platform. Okay. So selling in a very niche market of Jeep, truck, and SUV parts, lift kits. In fact, we have an existing website, e-commerce website, liftkitsforless.com. But we're transitioning and going after a much, much larger market, which is the entire auto parts industry. Okay. And that includes boat, RV, power sports, anything and everything, electric, combustion, new, used, a one-stop shop for all your automotive part needs.
Okay.
And we're the first vertical to do that. Currently, Amazon, eBay, those are marketplaces, double-sided, but they're all things to all people, and that's a different experience. So,
who would you say your main customers are then? Would they be dealers or individuals?
So we use a lot of technology. Okay. So we have contracts with SureDone, a company called Channel Advisor. Every company that we can access their sellers, CDK Global, $2 billion software company, they have all the OE dealers so that they can load their parts onto our platform. Anybody can come through technology and really through a seamless process get your parts onto our platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about competitors? Anybody else doing this? You said you were first mover, but
we are.
Okay.
Right. So we're the first dedicated multi-sided, double-sided platform serving this auto parts industry. So yeah, we're the first and off and running, and it's exciting. So I think we have right now in our queue about 3 million parts that are being loaded. So yeah. It's exciting. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where could somebody go to find out more about the company, or if they're interested in being a customer, buyer, seller, or an investor?
Yeah, the website's Auto Parts for Less, just like it sounds. If you want to learn about investing us, we're OTCQB, and our ticker is FLES, and you can go to autopartsforlessgroup.com and check us out.
Okay, thanks so much, Christopher. Very interesting. Thanks.
Sekur, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Sekur is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Sekur doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Sekur. Visit Sekur.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Sekur is a way to send private messages, either via email. There's other platforms as well available. And with me is CEO Alain Ghiai to explain about Sekur. And then also I wanted to talk to you, Alain, about this North Korean hacking attempt on open source. And you and I have talked a lot about open source and how that is great for collaboration, but could also kind of open up for various nefarious characters as well. So
yes.
What do you know about this North Korean situation?
Sure. So Sekur is a peer-to-peer, end-to-end, essentially, privacy communication platform. We have email, messenger. We are also launching voice encrypted calls and video calls. We also have something called Sekur Suite, which is a file share password manager and collaboration tool. So that's kind of what we do. Our main, most popular products are the email and messenger. As far as open source, we went from day one not using open source, and the tech industry, you know, the hardcore techie guys are very divided because they're very passionate about being open source. And the days of open source, maybe 20 plus years ago, well, more than 20 years ago, started when you had closed systems. And it has its roots in Linux and Windows operating system and database. So if you had a Windows and Microsoft, you had to pay licenses, whereas you have open source Linux, a bunch of developers worldwide that collaborate to improve a software. Now, the argument there is if you use an open source system, because you have to publish your code according to the GDL license, the argument is other developers can check your code and verify, validate, and even improve upon it. Today, 99% of the software, whether it's just, you know, a software like a Word document type thing, there's LibreOffice and other systems like that, or even all the chat systems use open source libraries, which are basically, it's like going to the supermarket and you're buying something already made, or going to a store and you buy your shirt that's ready made, or going to a custom tailor that's going to be just for you. You only know the measurement, the tailor knows the measurement. You see what I mean? So a non-open source is a lot more private. You can't just, you won't publish it because you're not using anybody else's code. And that's the difference. Obviously now we see more and more attacks like the South Korean one. And what they did is they went and used a Microsoft Zinc. I'm not super proficient in Microsoft programming, obviously, but you know, it's a Microsoft tool essentially that they use. So they go on LinkedIn, then they message you. By the way, that's also another thing. You should always be careful when somebody contacts you. If you don't know them, just delete, right? Because I get contacted daily on these guys. So you go on LinkedIn, they say, oh, let's connect on WhatsApp. That's literally what the article says. And then when you're on WhatsApp, they have your phone number. So now they have access to all the files that you store on your phone. And, you know, some of us have Office on phone as well, right? Because it's just practical to have those apps. And then from there, they install malicious apps. So it's like a several step thing, but they do put viruses in open source software.
That's interesting. That's the first I've heard of a LinkedIn type of attack. So, and they get you through the WhatsApp. So that's, oh my gosh. I mean, they're always thinking of new ways to do this.
You know, I see a lot of website professionals, and they say in some countries it's very common because long distance is so expensive. Mm-hmm. So, and also it doesn't even work half the time, right? So you use WhatsApp because it's free. You're using the internet, and they say, call us on WhatsApp for support. I mean, it's just unreal, but that is very common. The LinkedIn thing has been around for a while, where somebody, a fake person, tries to get something from you, but it is the first time that I do read officially that people go through these official business channels, essentially, to connect to WhatsApp, which is most people will do it, right? It's like, yeah, it's just an easy call, free. And that's how you get hooked. And then the open source, the problem is that, yeah, it's great to have developers validating your code. The other side of the medal is that you also have black hat hackers that pose as regular developers, and they can basically put malicious coding in it or reverse engineer your own software. And that's how they get in.
Yeah. So how would Sekur prevent something like this from happening?
Well, first of all, at Sekur, we don't use any open source coding whatsoever. The only thing we have for our email, which is a plugin of a popular email client, but that's not really using the core code whatsoever. So if you if you're on LinkedIn and you're telling me, let's go on WhatsApp, well, let's go on Sekur, you need to buy a Sekur account. If you're initiating a call, I would have the choice to block you out as well if I don't know you. So we have a lot of privacy tools like that. We have essentially a massive anti-malicious software screeners, I'm going to call it filters. All our filters are very highly redundant, so we would recognize that there's a malicious element being forced on us. And because it's not open source, like there's no way they can put malicious software into our own software because they don't even know the code. See, the whole thing is that if you don't know the formula, if you don't know how to get in, how can you? Whereas open source, anybody can study it for a long time and say, okay, this is how we're going to get in, and that's the weak point of the software. If you don't have that secret formula, you have no way to find out what works and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. So in the context of this article, it would be literally impossible to do that to our code. Now, other things that we do are different, just in general, because when you don't use open source, you also are less prone to hacking because they just don't know where to hack you. What are your weak points? And it's like a fortress, and then you don't know where the weak points is. Well, no, because you don't have the code.
Yeah. And then, so we just wrapped up the third quarter. How did that go for Sekur?
Well, the third quarter went well. I would say I think it's as good or better than Q2. You have to understand in Q3, starting July, we reduced our expenses by 25%, so on a monthly basis. So even though we reduced the marketing expenses dramatically, in terms of the marketing expense, it was literally reduced by 50%. And we still did, I believe, slightly above Q2. Our yearly goal is still on track, our targets, and we do expect to do at least 150% more sales next year. The whole thing of the company, I think, as we mentioned before, was to reduce expense to get to the profitability mode, because we do have a roadmap for that. So we're very happy. I mean, July was an amazing month. August was 35% higher than July. So we're very happy that, I know there was a lot of economic situation, recession talk, all of that. It hasn't affected us whatsoever.
Yeah. And what about the fourth quarter? I know you're going to be coming to New York.
Yes.
So, what do you?
So the fourth quarter so far, see, the way we do our quarters, because most of the sales are through online, we get the money deposited the month after. So really our fourth quarter starts in September, technically speaking, because we get the money in October. So September was a fantastic month, better than August even. I would say the fourth quarter we will meet or beat our targets. The quarters are not going down. So even though we have reduced our expenses dramatically, there was a big shift from first half to second half of the year. We are going to meet and beat the target, even though we spent 50% less in marketing. So we're excited. We are confident, extremely confident we will meet the targets that are set in that FRC report, which I recommend everybody to go to our website at Secure Private Data and download the FRC research. And I'll come to New York and I'll discuss more. We also have partnerships lined up. I think the partnerships are going to be very good for 2023. I don't think they will be attributable too much to Q4, because by the time things get deployed and whatnot, it'll be December. So these partnerships we're signing them now and deploying them so that Q1 of next year, meet or beat our expectation. We're still targeting, without any extra fundraising whatsoever or uplisting or anything like that, we're still projecting 2025 to be a full year profit for the company, which is pretty cool because it's almost like, I can almost say within 24 months we're profitable.
Yeah, no, that's great. And when you come to New York, I want to talk to you about elections and the holidays and what people should watch out for hacking there, because I know there's
lots to watch for both. Yeah, definitely we'll have a few chats about that. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Alain, and we'll see you soon here in New York.
Thanks, James. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
Sekur, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Sekur is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Sekur doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Sekur. Visit Sekur.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Mikra has a product called Self that works on the cellular level for energy and overall wellness. And with me is the CEO of Mikra, Faraaz Jamal, to explain more about this product. And we were talking about brain fog, and we hear a lot about it now because of long COVID, but it's not just long COVID. I had brain fog long before COVID happened. But what are you finding with your product and brain fog?
Yeah, so long COVID actually really brought brain fog to the surface. But brain fog and chronic fatigue has been around for a very long time. And one of the major things that we created Self around was the actual ability to combat that. So we're actually one of the only supplements out there right now that are actually engaging in a clinical trial for chronic fatigue syndrome. And we're honestly seeing so many great results from our customers and everyone else trying to combat these things. And it's really interesting. Like, the way that brain fog is diagnosed is very, very anecdotal, quite honestly. There isn't a really good set regimen of tools that doctors can use. But if you're essentially like waking up super tired from the night before, and you got your 8 hours of sleep, or even if you're mid-afternoon, you're like, I don't feel very good, I'm gonna have to slam back a couple of cups of coffee or something like that. This is where Self actually really cuts through and where people see the most benefit from the product. And generally speaking, once you've hit that like 30-ish mark, you start to feel more and more tired over time. And that's what we're trying to solve.
Yeah. And let's remind everybody how it works.
Yeah. So
this is like a peanut butter, right? Okay, yeah. So describe how we take it and then what it does to our body.
Yeah, peanut butter is actually a really good way of describing that. We call it a nutraceutical gel. And the sweet spot here is that we take bioactive compounds, so naturally occurring compounds that you could find in very low quantities in like broccoli and spinach and elsewhere within nature. And then we concentrate them. And then we essentially pair them with our technology, which is a direct-to-cellular technology. So that ensures that your cells actually absorb and utilize the compounds. And then furthermore, we make sure that the product isn't oxidized in any way, shape, or form. So it's not sitting in the lab or anything of the sort. We actually batch our products. So they're actually pretty small batches to ensure that they're potent, they're effective, and they're going to work.
Yeah, and in fact, your batches are small that you ran out and like there was demand and all of that, right?
Yeah, so. It's been really humbling, to be honest, to see how many people continuously want to take Self, that are giving it to their families and everything of the sort. And I'm eternally grateful for all the demand, but we are scaling up quite quickly.
What's the future? So you've got a clinical trial. What are you studying in the trial, and then just about expansion? Where do you?
Yeah, so chronic fatigue syndrome is our major focus right now, and then we're looking at other clinical indications like anxiety, as well as a couple of sleep studies. So we're really excited about those, and then. In parallel, we actually have a new product coming out soon, just targeting cellular athletic therapeutics. So we're really excited about being able to enhance somebody's quality of workout, and then also diminish the amount of time it takes for them to recover from it.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you've ever like gone for like a 5K or like a really, really strenuous, any sort of exercise in the morning, and then you get to work and you're like, I feel a little bit tired and like my mind's not quite there. This new product's going to solve that issue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know a ton of people that would be interested in that, actually. We'll talk later. Thank you so much for coming back in and giving us an update.
No, I really appreciate it, Jane. Thank you.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
HCM Staffing provides processes for recruitment and personnel placement, but also customized strategies for training and education, and also personalized coaching. And with me, Eddie Bright Jr., the CEO of HCM Staffing, and Love Malone, the Managing Director of Services and Operations. Got that all right?
We did. Great job.
So let's just start with, what are the key factors, would you say, in terms of DEI? Why is that being so emphasized so much in corporate America right now?
There's been a real awakening, Jane, within corporate America. First of all, thank you for having us, as always. This is a pleasure. It really is. There's been a real awakening in corporate America as far as being able to grow those that we might call in underserved communities, as well as corporations are realizing that, hey, we want our workplace to look like the audiences that we serve. We realize that bringing that community in, those individuals in, opens up creativity. It allows us to sell better, market better. It allows us to retain talent better like we never have before. And then when you talk about DE&I, and you talk especially about diversity, if I'm going into a workplace that might not have many African Americans, me seeing other African Americans there that, especially in positions that represent success, time, and tenure within that corporation, gives me that aspiration that I can be that person. I can grow up in this country, in this company, and I can be very successful.
What have you seen particular strategies work better than others?
Yes, which is kind of exciting, because I feel before we all had the same strategy where we go to historically black college, we would then reach out to the fraternities and sororities, and so every company was doing that. I think we now that people have started to put more emphasis on it, they're thinking outside the box, and that's one of the things we do best, is advise clients on making sure, first, hire, right? That's what we're here to do, is make sure that you're hiring great talent. The other part is making sure that you have a steadfast plan in order to do it. And so the companies that have done well have been the ones that start planning early for what they're wanting, and then kind of following through, making sure they're thinking outside the box.
What are some of those outside of the box strategies?
Well, if you go to the same, as they say, the same pool, you get the same fish.
Okay.
What we're doing at HCM, which we think is pretty exciting, we're embedded not only in the HBCUs, but we're embedded in what's called the Divine Nine, all the black sororities and fraternities. Oddly enough, if you were in a sorority or fraternity, you went to college. So we're doing that. We're upskilling. We're coming in and we're saying, hey, we know that a lot of times you want to go and hire people. Let us come in and raise up the talent that you have. Sometimes people are very good technically, but they may not have the management skills. They may not have the emotional intelligence. We provide those types of workshops, boot camps sometimes, training, business relationship management that allows you to have your own people grow. And what's a greater success story than someone that started here and looks up 3 to 5 years later and they're in a management position? They've actually had some what we call positive attrition within the workplace.
love it. Finally, do you want to share maybe what you're looking forward to, say in 2023? What are your goals?
Oh, thank you so much. Right now, most of our clients are doing their planning for this year to come. So we're spending a lot of time making sure that we're planning for February is right around the corner. Any goals that you have for diversity and inclusion are right around the corner. So this is the time that that most companies are putting in the budget. So we just, kind of are making sure our clients are remembering their goals for next year and starting now. And so if they have any questions or any want to help with the roadmap, we're here. And also we have amazing talent that's always looking for work.
And we're excited to share a lot of our client partners with New to the Street.
I'm excited to meet them.
We've got a lot of client partners that are doing exciting things, especially in the DE&I space and hiring, of course. And we're excited to have them take advantage of New to the Street.
Okay. Well, thank you, Love and Eddie. Always great to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Vrm Biologics is creating a low-cost, scalable agriculture system that reverses topsoil damage. It significantly increases profits, also yields, and the quality of farmers' lives. And with me are Kelly Walters, the CEO of Vrm Biologics, and also Ken Bellamy, the founder and president of the company. So let's talk about this. I told you I grew up on a farm, so I'm kind of in familiar territory here. Tell me a little bit about the company. What is it you're doing exactly?
Vrm Biologic was founded about 30 years ago by Ken on the basis of a lot of his discoveries around solutions for intractable environmental problems that really plagued humanity as we knew it. Ken moved through a number of processes and came to the conclusion that protein into the future was going to be the biggest challenge, feeding future populations. And out of that, soil quality. We needed good quality soil in order to grow that protein.
Yeah. So Ken, explain the problem. So what's happening with topsoil now? Why does there need to be a solution to this?
It's just a simple numbers game. There's more and more people and there's less and less acres of topsoil. Less and less acres of arable land. It washes off, it blows away, regardless of really good systems that have been developed for maintaining. It's still declining. And essentially when you grow something, you extract something out of the soil. To the extent that you don't replace that, the soil declines. Soil carbon levels, which is the humus levels, the fertility levels in US soils have declined markedly over the last 50 or 60 years. That's not because people are farming badly, it's because that's just a natural system that needs help.
So I guess just from a macro perspective, I mean, how can this technology help with climate change, feeding the world? I mean, what is the big picture here, would you say? And when do you think it will be used? Like we'll actually see it in application?
We're already in scale in numerous countries.
Okay.
The US is, we were stopped, as Kelly said, during COVID, but the US is now a major, application area for us. So the key is, do people understand that this is something that hasn't been done before? Do they understand that there is another mechanism to make friends with? I guess a few thousand years ago we made friends with sheep. We made friends with cows. We made friends with plants.
Yeah.
But we haven't yet made friends with the guys that make water. We're making friends now with that kingdom.
Yeah.
So as that message comes, more and more people will make friends with that group. We supply a mechanism to interface with that kingdom. just a mechanism, just like your whistle and your patting your puppy at home. That's your way of making friends. We've found another way to make friends with that kingdom.
And finally, are your customers the farmers, or are they like the companies like the Monsantos or whatever the world that deal with farmers and sell them products? Who would your customers be?
At all levels. First customer is the government. First customer is the person responsible for feeding that country. The second level is who implements that for the country. So that could be the big company or it could be the small farmer. Anyway, one client that's first off the rank is the home gardener. Lots and lots of cities are built on nicely fertile land. Lots of people are interested now in learning how to grow food at home.
Okay, well, thank you. Fascinating technology. Thank you so much, Ken and Kelly, for coming in.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Sekur, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Sekur is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Sekur doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Sekur. Visit Sekur.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Berry, and this is your Secure Privacy and Security segment, speaking with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Secure Private Data. Hi Alain, how are you doing today?
Hi Anna, and hi everyone who's watching us. Doing great, thank you.
So for our weekly hack, we're going to talk about something that is near and dear and pretty personal. A colleague of yours, just emailed you about 15 minutes ago, is that correct? Saying they hacked. Now, it's unfortunate, but it's also going to be happening more and more. So let's talk about what happened and how we can prevent that in the future.
Sure. So I got an email 15 minutes ago from somebody I work with in the media industry, and a friend of that person just got hacked, and they took financial information and sensitive info. And that person was asking me if I know a cybersecurity lawyer, which I do, a bunch of them. So I'm just in the process of helping that person, hopefully. And this is the initial reaction. It's like it's like having a house robbery, right? It's a feeling of being violated somehow. Suddenly something personal of yours is taken. And, also identity theft, everything. I put all of that in the same bag. So it's a pretty shocking news when you receive that. So the way to do it, if something like that happens to any of you guys, is essentially first you get the shock, info stolen, etc. The first thing you should do is definitely, if you can, if you're a consumer and let's say your credit card was stolen, right away contact all your financial companies, whoever it is, your bank, your credit card issuer, etc. For this, you should have that information handy. I would recommend that, and of course it's a little bit premature, but we're pushing as hard as we can to get this password manager, and that's when you can store your credit card and the password, etc. I use it on Secure Suite. Then you block your card. That's the financial thing, is the first thing. And then see if, depending on the damage, if you're a business, definitely contact a lawyer, because it will show the steps that you have taken to protect your data and your customers' data, because you could be sued now, because now your customers are compromised as well. It's terrifying, because as a person, it will cost you tens of thousands of dollars of damage if identity was stolen, which in this case, it is a form of identity stolen. And then as a business, you're liable for your customers' data. Imagine all the emails you send, they send you, maybe some kind of a personal PII info, credit card info, stuff like that. So contact a lawyer, contact your credit card, your bank, lock everything out, first thing.
So once you do that, that's a pretty general rule, and it's unfortunate that happened. But let's talk about the secure solution that you have, because once you kind of clean up the mess, then it's really about changing your identity lifestyle, changing the emails that you use, changing the way that you send messages, and soon passwords and whatnot. So tell us a little bit about what Sekur can provide.
You know, it's interesting. You said you clean things up, or it's the beginning, really. It's kind of like if you have a flood or even a virus, somebody can look at it. You lock things first, okay? You contained it by contacting these professionals. Now you have to completely change how you do business or which email you use. We always say it, and it's even in one of our presentation, 94% of all intrusion hacks start with email. So you may not realize it, but as a business, maybe for a few months you're being watched through email. A lot of time people tell me, well, Sekur can't help a company's backend and their servers. No, we don't do that, but we do provide a very good email system that's, I mean, so far hasn't been hacked in 15 plus years that we've had it. And also because we use our proprietary tech, we have Sekur Send, we don't use big tech hosting, etc. So there's a lot less, and we don't use open source. There's a lot less ways that a hacker can get in. And essentially what happens is if you use an email like that, well, hackers can read your emails. So the first thing you need to do, shut down all your emails. We've had businesses before that have been compromised. Sometimes it's more complex because the domain now is compromised too. You may go as far as changing your domain name. So if it's mybusiness.com, it may have to be mynewbusiness.com, right? Change a little bit the domain. If not, definitely, junk your old email, go to a new provider. Of course, we are very happy to have people who really care about cybersecurity and privacy. So change your providers right away. Lock everything out, just like a credit card. You lock the card and you get a new one.
Right. It truly is like a virus coming into the body. You got to clean it out and almost start fresh, start anew. So these are great tips. Hopefully no one gets hacked out there, but it's coming almost to all of us unless take our own cybersecurity seriously. And that is what you're doing. You're providing tools, but you're also providing awareness to our audience. So super valuable. Thank you so much, Alain.
You're welcome. I would say the same thing goes for messengers as well, because we all use these free applications. So somebody can get into your email or your phone number. So definitely take a look at Sekur. Obviously, we don't ask for your phone number when you register for our service. We have that chat by invite. We have that secure messenger. That's pretty cool. Very private, but yes, good luck. And if you have any question, you can always contact us.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. The email and the messenger, two important services you provide. And throughout the quarters, you'll be rolling out a lot more services. So we look forward to those.
One last thing, I want to give 15% discount to people who are interested in privacy. Please use the promo code SEKUR15, SEKUR15. It'll give you 15% off a whole year. If you do buy a yearly package, you already get 2 months for free. So altogether is 33% off. You're going to help as much as you can. Times are tough, so I want to make sure that this privacy and security is affordable. And, that's it. Thanks.
Fantastic. Sorry. Thank you for that. And thank you as always, learning a lot and changing our lifestyle over here. Thank you, Alain.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks everyone for watching.